have some things to read here. Srila Prabhupada's life. I think you've all seen the Ever Well-Wisher biography, right? It's old now, 1 hour long, Prabhupada's life. So this is a trailer we're going to see in a few minutes from the ACHARYA, full length, hour and a half, I think, which is coming out next year. And I'm not exactly sure what the full content is, but I spent a little time yesterday doing the nutshell of Prabhupada's timeline. I think something that's sometimes a little hard to get a handle on. I think most devotees aren't so much aware of it. So, first thing I was thinking about Prabhupada, after I say some prayers, Om Agyan Timarandasya, Gyananjana Shalakaya, Chakshu Militam Jaina, Tasmai Sigrave, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I was thinking, there's this one phrase, probably the people who meet here at this Unity Center, they know about it. Some theologian, religious scholar, theologian said, the issue is not whether God exists or not. The issue is whether God is available or accessible. Because whether God exists or not, if God doesn't exist, then why bother? And if God exists, but there's no way to access that God, is useless. What does it mean to us? What good does it do if there's a God that exists, but we have no way to access, to make God available, to know God? You know, like George Harrison says at the beginning of the Introduction to Krishna book. Everyone is looking for God, everyone is looking for Krishna. But we don't know how to get to that knowing. And what is the use of believing something that you can't experience? So that's what we say, yoga is something not like ordinary religion, or is just faith. You go to your grave without knowing, without having experience. But yoga is a science, of experiential science. Mystic realization rather than just belief and faith. So I was thinking that why Srila Prabhupada was so successful, so many people he moved, giving their lives for him. And even 40 years after he's left, almost 38 years. His living, his presence is still acutely felt by his followers. So what was it? More than anything else, I think, why we're all so attracted to Prabhupada is because we found in him, we felt in him that he has access to God, that he's experiencing Krishna's presence. Just like when he came to London and they asked Swamiji, why have you come here? I think this is when he first came there, when Jamuna and Shyama Sundar Mukunda, they all went and had a place for him set up in John Lennon's place outside of London. So the press conference came. He came to the airport and the devotees got John Lennon's white Rolls Royce to drive Prabhupada. And then they had some press conference. So Swamiji, why you've come? He said, I've come to remind you what it is you've forgotten, that is God. So, just to be in the presence of a person who's having access to God. Bhagavatam says, Sadhava Hridayam Tvayam Sadhanam Hridayam Tvaham. Sadhu means he has in the heart Krishna. And Krishna likewise says that in my heart is only the sadhu as well. So, and who was it that Yudhishthira told Gaur, Tirti Kurvanti Tirtani Svantastini Kadapita, that what is the need for you to go to pilgrimage places, tirthas? You are like a walking tirtha. Why? Because in your heart is the Lord. So, devotees could feel that around Prabhupada. What they were looking for, they were feeling that Prabhupada had that, so we wanted to be like him. And because of that, devotees were able to just abruptly change their life from day to night, night to day, you know. So much Jagya sacrifice that was there. If you read some of these biographies, some of the latest ones that came out were last year, Brahmananda. It was written by Sacharaj. It's called Swamiji. I highly recommend it. That of all the devotees who were tested by Prabhupada and passed the test, I think he was number one. Sacharaj wrote the book about Brahmananda. So the book is about Brahmananda. Swamiji. And Jamuna's 2-volume set is there. She is a lady doing the austerities in India in those early days, alongside her brothers. And just around the corner, beginning of next year, long-awaited 2-volume set of Shyama Sundar. Mukunda Maharaj is already there, Jamuna is already there. And now Shyama Sundar is coming. Mukunda, Gaurdas is already there. He was here last year, right? So Gaurdas's book is there. Mukunda Maharaj's book is there. Jamuna's book is there. Now Shyama Sundar's is coming. So one of the emerging factors, the significant factors, when you read these, you see an amazing amount of sacrifice that Prabhupada was able to get out of them because he sacrificed everything. And that's what these types of remembrances are for these days, to remember. As recently we celebrated Prabhupada's leaving Calcutta, they had a big celebration there, right? 10,000 people in Calcutta. And then when he came to Boston, 17th September, over 1,000 devotees were there at the Boston Harbor. They went on a ship. Now Prabhupada's disappearance. So this is, in a sense, you could say the 50th anniversary. Since it's 50 years since Prabhupada came. And it's a disappearance, but it's actually only 38 years since he disappeared. But still significant. So I was saying, trying to remember the sacrifice, and I was saying, as I was saying earlier on, that we can hear about this, read about it, and think about what people did, but it's still, we start to reach the age that Prabhupada was at when he embarked on his adventure in Calcutta in 1965, September 17th. So I think you're already there and past that, Prabhu. But and I'm starting to get close. But I'm saying that you won't appreciate until you start getting 60, 70, like that. You will not be able to appreciate what it was that Prabhupada did. And we're just talking about the physical, what he went through. No money, didn't know anybody, on a freight ship, already ill health. And what to speak of the mental, of what was waiting for him.
And heart attack during the ship voyage.
What he knew about America was not, the land of milk and honey. He's coming from Vrindavan, the real land of milk and honey. Golok Vrindavan. And he's giving that up for a place which is just a very low-class lecture land. And no sponsorship, really. Like other yogis have come, and they had sponsorship of rich people to really pave the way for them, Prabhupada was just totally in the dark, in a sense, but he had the light from within, but he was in such in the dark, didn't know what was going to happen. What was that? He didn't know how long he'd stay or anything. And when he got there to Boston Harbor, he was thinking that what I've coming to give them, when they understand that, they'll probably just say, why don't you turn around and go back to India, UK? But he was intent on not compromising and giving what it was that he's getting down from the succession through Guru Maharaj. So they told him he'd have to adjust in so many ways, learn how to eat like the Americans and dress and this and that. And he said, I'm not going there, to get something from them. I'm going to give. So, basically just on blind faith, he said, I have this blind faith, this faith in my Guru Maharaj's order. And for that matter, it wasn't really even an order. It was more like a suggestion. When Prabhupada and this Narendra came in 1922 and saw Srimati Sananta in Calcutta, and he immediately told them, you're educated, English-speaking, young Bengali men, why don't you think about preaching and helping this message in English? And then later on, just a fortnight before Srila Bhaktivedanta left, Prabhupada wrote one letter asking for some kind of, what can I do for you? I've just been a grihasta this whole time. You have so many brahmachari sannyasis full-time engaged in mission. What can I do? And he's given the same order again to preach in the West as you've heard it from me. So he's just going in that order, but again, it was just a suggestion. Why don't you do this? He's not even 1922, not even accepted this. He hasn't even met him. So where's the question of commanding, ordering? It was more of a suggestion, but he took like that, as Prabhupada used to comment on Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's comment. Prabhupada used to reference that, his comment to the Devasya Bhikagudi, Nandana, that one who takes the order of the Guru and doesn't consider anything else, any other ramifications or anything, he just sees that order and has faith in that. So Prabhupada would always say that that's just